First from Houston, Texas, Kaitlyn.
Well, here she comes, Josh, and still no answers. Will we ever find out who attacked Kaitlyn, injured the ankle at Night of Champions before her scheduled title shot with Layla? As we all know, the attacker was blonde, wore a blonde wig, and if it's a wig, well, it could be just about anybody.
Yeah, it's become a real who's done it.
She is the Glamazon, Beth.
Well, this ought to be interesting. Beth Phoenix was actually the very first person accused of the attack on Kaitlyn. Josh, Beth told Kaitlyn that taking Eve's word over hers was sort of a rookie mistake. Beth Phoenix continues to maintain her innocence. She says many times she doesn't need to sneak attack anybody. She'd come right at you in your face. So very interesting to see how Beth Phoenix reacts to those accusations.
I think Beth Phoenix has a point. As Divas champion, she was one of the most dominant divas we've ever seen in WWE.
Beth Phoenix, by the way, celebrating her 7th anniversary here in the WWE, and boy, she's created such a tremendous legacy here in the WWE. Diva of the Year 2008, 3 times a Women's Champ, Divas Championship on the resume. But you can see right now, she is all business with Kaitlyn, who's got the left ankle taped up, but she is ready to roll.
You think about the incidents that occurred when Kaitlyn was attacked, lost so much that night. It was going to be her first ever opportunity at the Divas Championship. And of course, Layla lost the most that night because she was prepared to face Kaitlyn. Eve would substitute in, and Eve ultimately goes on to become the Divas Champion.
Yeah, who had the most to gain? That's the question.
Well, Eve. Eve would step in, she would substitute, she's the Divas Champion.
And now you've got this whole blonde wig involved. Could be anybody. Could be you for all I know. You have a blonde wig in your locker?
No.
Then it's not you, I guess.
Let's go. Break it up. What?
You're a real tough interrogator.
No. I believe you. You're a friend of mine. You say it's not you, it's not you. And Beth Phoenix says it's not her.
Kaitlyn making a mistake there. Beth Phoenix able to capitalize.
Beth Phoenix, one of the strongest divas you'll ever see here in the WWE. But Kaitlyn, very strong as well, as she goes right back to work on the Glamazon.
And again, smart move here by Beth. Just stay away from Kaitlyn. Beth relying on her veteran instinct here.
And at this point, Kaitlyn told me today that she trusts no one right now. Absolutely no one. Everyone and anyone is a suspect right now in that attack. Beth Phoenix going up top. Very powerful divas going back and forth here on Superstars. Back here on Superstars, Kaitlyn, Beth Phoenix putting on a clinic thus far. Beth Phoenix, you could tell, Josh, very aggravated and agitated at the fact that she's been even considered a suspect in the attack on Kaitlyn at Night of Champions.
And during the break, Beth Phoenix was telling Kaitlyn that she's the student here in this match. She needs to learn something from Beth. She needs to learn something from Beth.
Yeah, it's funny you mention that, because Beth told me earlier today she wanted to set an example for Kaitlyn as Kaitlyn worked her way up the ladder here in the WWE. Oh, look at this. Kaitlyn going in with the crossbody. Picks up the 2.
Kaitlyn was off balance. Probably have to blame the banged up ankle for that.
Beth, come on. Back it up. What?
You know, Josh, Kaitlyn said something very interesting today as well. Kaitlyn said whoever did attack her that night, she does believe Eve had something to do with it.
Well, Eve has maintained her innocence throughout this whole thing.
Come on, Beth.
But like we said, she had the most to gain. I mean, from SmackDown the other night, do you feel as if Teddy Long would have donned a wig?
I don't think so. I don't believe so.
Oksana, Beth, Natalya, they're all suspects. Could have been Ziggler for all we know. Dolph Ziggler's got blonde hair. No motive there, though. Beth going in for the cover, hook of the leg.
You've really thought about this a lot.
Well, it's almost like a game of Clue when you were kids. You try and narrow it down to the one who had the most to gain from it. And I'll tell you what, I for one believe Beth when she says she's innocent in this whole thing. I believe her when she says if she was going to attack you, she'd do it from the front, not from behind.
Well, what makes you believe Beth and not believe anything Eve has to say?
It's a good question.
Well, you can get back to me if you'd like.
I'm going to get back to you on that. I'll give it some thought. Like I said, you always look at the person who had the most to gain, and I feel like Eve was in that position that night at Night of Champions, as she continues to hold on to the Divas title.
Well, that's how coveted the Divas Championship has become. Wow. So it's Beth now making a mistake.
In for the cover, Kaitlyn picks up 2. So powerful, these two women. Unbelievable strength. Look at this. Flips her over now. Kaitlyn. She's going to pick this up. No. Beth's always said in the past that she'd seen a younger self in Kaitlyn when Kaitlyn came into the WWE. And right now, it's the former #1 contender doing a job on the Glamazon.
I think Beth Phoenix
in for the cover, hook of the leg.
May have underestimated Kaitlyn here tonight.
Kaitlyn getting her shot at the Divas title 2 weeks ago on Raw. Lost to Eve as Eve exploited that weak ankle.
I think Beth thought that this match was going to be a lot easier than it's been. Thinking it was going to be an education for Kaitlyn.
So much time in the weight room, both of these divas. You could tell on their physiques. So muscular, so strong and powerful. Look at this now. Kaitlyn in a lot of trouble. She hangs on, though, and comes right back with the right hand. Kaitlyn going up top now.
Very gingerly, and it's going to cost her.
How bad is that left ankle? Look at this. Beth Phoenix, wow. Pressing Kaitlyn overhead.
Kaitlyn was able to slip through and land on her feet.
Kaitlyn now in trouble. No. She goes right over. Look at that. Wow, flips her right over. 2 count. She's got it. Kaitlyn utilizing those ropes with a sunset flip back over the other way.
Kaitlyn looked almost as stunned as we are here at ringside. A tremendous upset here, especially with the banged up ankle. A victory for Kaitlyn.
And I think Beth Phoenix right now just as stunned as everybody else. As Kaitlyn picks up a victory, uses her anger and frustration to her advantage. We don't know who is involved, but Kaitlyn certainly channeling that energy